Hey, I saw you went and met with Kelce and Mahomes, and have you talked to those guys before or met them, and what was your experience like getting to chat with them?
No, I hadn't never met them before, but I went out to the facility earlier this year. Brett Veach, the manager there, I didn't know it until a couple years ago, but he's a big fan of mine. So he had us out and hosted us earlier this year, and then he was able to kind of line it up again this time. So it was really cool. We had Cliff out there, and Rudy Fugel's a huge Chiefs fan. So it was really neat to be there, and we got to sit in the quarterback meeting before their practice. So that was really cool to see how they operate and kind of prep for a practice. But yeah, that was kind of a once in a lifetime experience, and it was cool to do that. And everybody there is extremely nice, and I think because Brett's such a big fan and talks about racing a lot, they kind of get it, so it's cool.
When you see those people prepare and stuff like that, what, if any, similarities or qualities do you see in other successful, athletes like that you find are similar here?
Well, I think what I didn't quite realize, just being a casual fan of, football, was how much work it actually is. I just look at big buff football players, and I'm like, they just probably have a couple meetings during the week, couple practices, and just lift and get big and strong. And but it sounds like their weeks are really long. A lot of prep work. Sounds like a lot of meetings. And I would say by game day they're extremely prepared. So that was really neat to see, and just how much effort goes into prepping for a single game. That was, like I said, that was just eye-opening and really cool to see, and neat to see the culture and leadership that goes on there, and it makes sense why they're so successful.
Over to the left.
Bob Hotchkiss, Fox Sports. I'm curious, do people like, oh my gosh, you met Patrick Mahomes, and how, I don't know whether you thought it was a big deal before or more after?
Well, I don't know. I don't really look at the social media stuff a lot, but I definitely had a few, handful of friends, reach out and say that was really cool. So, I'm friends with a lot of 49er fans, so I was surprised that none of them were like, oh, you traitor or whatever. But no, I think there's such a big deal, right? Like Mahomes and Kelce and even Brett Veach, that a lot of people, whether you cheer for that team or not, they have a lot of respect for those athletes. So I think everybody was pretty surprised and thought it was cool. I got to hang out there.
To more motorsports, David, go back on with Mahomes and Kelce. I am wondering, Kyle, have you ever done a race suit swap before or anything? Or was this your first time?
No, we've definitely done some throughout the past, but it's probably the most popular jersey or whatever you want to call it I've got. So it's really cool. I'll probably definitely get it framed up and hang it in the game room at the house or something.
You mentioned you were surprised that you haven't gotten any backlash, but do you have anything to say to 49ers fans?
Say that again?
Do you have anything to say to 49ers fans that may be a little upset that you went to Arrowhead?
No.
No? Okay.